Hey, what's up you guys? It's Six. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to the first video of 2024. So if you are new to the channel, you might not know, something I like to do in the new year is do a video talking about kind of like my artist's resolutions, I guess, or goals for the new year, while also talking about last year's goals and whether or not I felt like I was able to achieve them. I have also started combining it since I think last year, maybe it was the year before, with a Meet the Artist, because I think those are fun. My interests tend to shift and change and all of that, and my art style also changes dramatically every single time I do a, well, not dramatically, but like you can tell that there's a lot of improvement between each Meet the Artist. So I just wanted to pop on here and do one of those, and that is what this is. So getting off into 2023's goals, resolutions. I like to call them goals more now, because resolutions just seem more finite, if that makes sense. Or finite's not the right word. They're like, you gotta do them, and if you don't, then that's bad. And so it seems less harsh if I just call them a goal, because there's something I'm reaching towards, but if I don't achieve them, that's fine. I will always have time to do that at a later date. But a resolution is like, I'm gonna do this year, and if I don't, I suck. So I try not to call them that anymore. I've moved on to just calling them my goals for the new year. But before we get into my goals for the new year, obviously, like I said, gotta talk about my goals for last year, 2023, and whether or not I was able to reach them. So, funnily enough, I'm not kidding. The first goal I had for 2023, it was a bit of a joke goal, but it was to remember to tell you guys to subscribe. So if you like this video, if you like the art that you see on screen, please do subscribe. Because I didn't tell you guys last year. I really didn't. I ironically said in that video that it was probably going to be the first one that I fell off of, and it absolutely was. I think I forgot literally the next video. The next video. I was very much not consistent with telling you guys because I hate it, kind of. But I know that it's like a necessary evil, because even I forget when I'm watching YouTubers. I'll be like, oh, this video is so cool. This art is so nice. And then they'll be like, oh, by the way, subscribe if you like the art. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's the thing I do. Okay. And then I subscribe because I'm silly and I forget. So if you forgot, or for some reason YouTube unsubscribed you, because YouTube does that also for some reason, go subscribe because it makes me happy. Come see me make art more. I enjoy it. Thank you. Anyways, so yeah, I absolutely fell off of that one. So let's just move on to our next one, which was a broad one, a very broad one, and it was to practice more experimentation within my artwork. So I mentioned that a lot of it would probably be done sort of off camera, and that it would be a whole bunch of different things, whether it was subject matter or medium, and things like that. And I think in a way I sort of did this, but I feel like I also sort of didn't, and let me explain that. So I feel like I did in ways that I can say that I did use different mediums this year. I did a piece in all crayon. I made 2 little gouache paintings. I made a ladybug and a beetle. I think that was this year. It could have been 2022, but I think it was this year. And that is what leads me to say that I don't think that I really did meet this goal, because the fact that I can't even remember if it was this year or not, if I experimented with mediums this year. I know the crayon piece was this year. I actually tried partially, barely got started on customizing a Draculaura doll. But just like in general, I can't remember if I did things. So that kind of tells me that I didn't do enough of it. It's like I can think, oh, I did this piece here, I did this piece there. But that's not enough to say like, yeah, I really experimented a lot with different stuff this year. It's just sort of like, yeah, I did one piece. I did one piece. Or this, just here and there kind of stuff, and not really like, I can't say broadly, like, yeah, I experimented a lot this year. And so I want to change that, definitely, in 2024. I want that to be more of a thing, but we'll get in there more when I talk about this year's goals for the new year. So moving on to our next goal, last year's goal, was to have a better mindset in regards to my artwork. And this one, I can say definitely is 50-50, but it's a lot more 50-50 than it was with the whole experimentation thing, because it was literally like a dramatic shift. Beginning of the year, bad mindset. Middle of the year, oh, wait, hold on. I kind of am, oh my goodness, I kind of am getting somewhere in regards to my art block. I have talked a lot about this on my Patreon podcast, just talking about art block and the things that I've been doing that are helping me. I keep saying that I have planned a comprehensive big video on the subject, but I don't know if it's ever going to come out. So if you guys ever have any questions about art block, definitely go check out the Patreon or Patreon podcast, or ask them below in the comments, because I might answer them, just not to the depth or to the like rawness that I would on my Patreon podcast, because those are kind of like stream of consciousness. I'm answering as I feel in that moment kind of things. They're not scripted or anything like that. So they just kind of are my true thoughts on things, or as true as I can jumble them together in my brain enough to make them come out of my mouth, if that makes sense. But yeah, you guys are always welcome to ask me any questions about anything. You do not have to check out the podcast. It's just like, I feel like that's where I word myself the best. And if one day I do make that art block video, that won't be on Patreon, that will be a huge YouTube video, hopefully. So yeah, I kind of did reach a point where I was finally able to be like, okay, I'm getting somewhere, I'm doing this thing, and this is helping me with this and this and this, and just kind of like steadily helping get my brain better in regards to my artwork. But I kind of fell off at the end of the year, just because, you know, the holidays and things like that. And also I was more active on social media, actually, ironically, towards the latter half of this year. I was looking at Instagram more and more on TikTok and things like that. I don't know how that happened between all the other things that I was doing. But I was seeing all of these amazing artists uploading, and it was just making me anxious, because I was like, oh, my stuff is not at that level, and that's fine. I need to recognize that that is fine. So yeah, I kind of got better, and then I got down, but I'm kind of on the up again. So yeah, one thing, I wrote a note about this, and I think it's because I said something during this same bullet in last year's video, talking about you know, having a better balance and things like that, between like my work and my, you know, my personal life, and being able to do more off things. I wrote Tears of the Kingdom week, haha. I think it's because I said something like I wanted to pick up Tears of the Kingdom without feeling guilty. That happened, for sure. I picked up Tears of the Kingdom in March, and I played for a week straight. I literally was like, I will not be doing commissions this week. Do not expect an update. Just a forewarning. And if you got one during this week, next week I will start. But right now it's Zelda time, and I still haven't beat Tears of the Kingdom. Did you guys know that? I'm scared. I'm scared to beat it. I have been walking around. Oh, quick tangent. I did a silly, guys. Oh my god. So okay, spoilers. Absolute crazy spoilers for Tears of the Kingdom. Skip ahead to this time frame. God, I hope I remember to put that in. Tears of the Kingdom spoilers. I got to the castle, and I jumped down into the depths, and it's so dark, I can't see anything. I'm running around. I'm killed near immediate. And so I was like, I need to go back to the depths and light it up some more, because I hadn't been doing that. And I realized you can only light up the area around the castle. The place that you fall into is not... It doesn't matter how... It don't matter how many light routes you light up. You are in pitch black darkness. You are screwed. So I did that. Literally, I've been procrastinating with that for hours. And then all of a sudden, my husband looks at me, and he was like, what are you trying to do, babe? And I was like, I'm trying to light it up so I can see when I get back down there. And he was like, no, honey, you can't do that. You can't light that part up. It's just dark. And I said, no, because I've spent hours searching for all of the light routes around the castle. You are about to tell me that it does not matter. It did not matter. So now I'm just kind of like anxiously waiting to fight Ganon, I guess. I want to beat it so bad, but at the same time, I'm like I remember how devastating and exciting, but mostly devastating it was when I finally beat Breath of the Wild, because I was like, wow, this thing that took up such a huge space in my brain and like was such a goal that I was reaching towards, I did it, and I did it pretty quick. I beat Ganon pretty quickly when I played Breath of the Wild the first time. So I'm scared that like I'm gonna beat it, and then it's like I'm not gonna have that thing anymore. But I will, but I won't, but I will. And I'm scared also, because what's gonna happen to my baby Zelda? What's gonna happen to her? I'm so upset. I will not say anything further, because I feel like the thing about the deaths is like only a minor spoiler. I will not say anything else. But yeah, I think I am slowly starting to get a balance, at least as far as that goes. As far as, you know, my work and my scheduling and things like that. It's just a matter of getting comfortable with my skill set now. Seeing the work that I do, comparing it to, you know, my favorite artists, and understanding that even though we're, you know, we might be similar ages, or, you know, have similar, like interests and inspirations, that doesn't necessarily mean that I am on the same skill level as them, and that is okay. That is okay, and that is normal, and I will get there eventually. The next resolution I had was, or goal, I suppose I should say. The next goal I had was to read more books. I had the quite ambitious goal. I don't remember if I said this directly, in the YouTube video or not. I wanted to read a book a month, and so like each month I would do a YouTube video kind of summarizing the book, talking about whether I would recommend it, and doing some kind of artwork related to that book, whether it was fan art or if it was like characters inspired by that book or something like that. Just like in general, do something based on the book. And that didn't happen. I'm still reading The Song of Achilles, which is the book that I mentioned in that video. I got maybe like 80 pages in, and it's not because I am a terribly slow reader. I read most of these pages within the day. I would say I would read like 30 pages, and then one time I had jury duty almost. I had a potential jury duty sitting, and so I was in there all day, and so I read like 50 pages, and so I got through all that, and then I never picked the book up again, because I had all of these things that I was doing. I suddenly got super busy because I decided to reopen the Patreon and just do all of these other things, and then on my days off I was like, hee video game, because I had a Resident Evil obsession. So I haven't made time for reading or doing anything like that. So yeah, definitely could have done better on there. The next one that I had was to be more consistent with YouTube, and I think that is almost true. Definitely more so than the previous ones. Because I almost did upload every single Saturday. I think I only missed a handful. I don't think I took any like big long breaks this year as I have in the past. Like I remember there were some times where I had to take like a month off of YouTube, and I don't think I've done that. I think I've just missed the odd Saturday here and there, which I think is nice. I definitely have gotten more consistent on that front. I would love to be more consistent. I would love to get back to 2 videos a week one day. But that's definitely not going to happen at current. Definitely not. So for now, I will say that this was, for the most part, achieved. And the last one, oh no, two more. So this is second to last, was to get more organized. And I think 100% I did this. Something that I would strongly recommend, whether you're a freelancer or not. This is an overall artist, professional artist, whatever. Artists, if you do art, if you make them of any variety, get yourself a weekly calendar. I'm so serious. I am so serious. Get yourself a weekly calendar, put it on your desk, and it will change your life. I started using a weekly calendar, I think in September of this year. I've had one for years. It was an undated calendar, so I could just write on it whenever, and I would only use it when I was incredibly just stressed and I don't know what days I'm doing what and blah blah blah, and then I just ignored it for most of the year, and I've had it again for years, literally years, and I used it all up. I had to buy a new one after September because I just went through it. I went through it. That lasted me until December because I was using it every single day. It is so helpful to have a visual representation outside of like, you know, like if you keep notes like in your folders or something, if that is something that you do, that is helpful. Sure. Having a physical thing that you see on your desk every single day, and especially if it's week by week rather than by month, because months, having the whole month in front of you is a little bit scary. It looks a little bit, you know, your schedule might look a little full. You might start to feel a little bit anxious, but having a weekly calendar, going week by week, it gets you through. It gets you through. It clears my brain out. And also being able to physically write things down helps me remember them better. Especially if you get kind of like fancy dancy with it. I will get like pens and markers and highlighters and stuff, and I'll just make my calendar look super pretty, and then I will be able to look at it and feel calm, because it's like, oh, look at this cute little thing, that's my cute little schedule, and now I know what I'm doing this week. I don't have to run around frazzle-brained and forget things. It also makes it really helpful to, once you get to each day, be like, oh, I cannot do this thing today, but I can move it over to here, and kind of like see what days you're free and what days you're not, what days you've planned heavy and what days you've planned light, and then, you know, kind of move things around as needed. So highly recommend getting a weekly schedule. The last goal that I had for 2023, and this one made me laugh, because I completely had forgotten that this was a goal that I had for that year. And it was to revamp the Patreon, to get the Patreon back up and running. I'm not kidding. I literally gasped when I rewatched this video so that I could, you know, do this recap. I was like, I can't believe I said that, because I actually did it. I did. In April, I relaunched the Patreon again. And if you didn't know that, you know, maybe you haven't watched my videos in like a year for some reason. Hi, hello, welcome back. I opened the Patreon again. It is so much fun for me to do now. I have so many people that are actually there. I had a handful of people that were there before. Don't get me wrong. I love you guys. I adore you. But like, there's people on the mail tier now. People like physically want my prints and stickers every single month. And that makes me cry. Because like, what? that didn't happen before. That did not happen before. I made like $15 a month on Patreon, which is the cost of my mail tier. So I know that I didn't have anybody on there because I had like 7 patrons. But it was really fun. I launched it, and the fact that you guys jumped on there, it makes me scream and cry. Like, especially during a time where, like I mentioned, I have been through art block for some time. I am in a period where I am convinced that, like, I have so much improvement that I need to kind of get through. And I get so down on myself, and then somebody will be like, hi, hello, interact with the Patreon post, and I'll be like, wait, you're here? Oh, what? And it just makes me really emotional to think that people care so much about my art that they want it every single month. It is unbelievable to me. So if you're one of those people, consider going to check that out. I have a ton of things on there. You guys get to see this video early, among a bunch of other really cool things, for, you know, the time being. Maybe more things in the new year. I don't know. But right now, Patreon really cool. I'm really happy. I cannot believe that was a goal that I had, and then I actually did it. I literally forgot. I just, in April, was like, I don't feel creative anymore. I was really creative when I had my Patreon. Let's reopen the Patreon. And then I did it. And then I solved a lot of the problems that I was having, artistically anyway. I got more consistent. I got more inspiration back. I was more creative again. I was making all of these cool pieces that I'm really proud of. It gave me the inspiration to put my shop back up too, ironically. And I don't know, I just think it was very successful. So yeah, in a way, I achieved a lot of the goals that I had for 2023, and in a way I didn't, and that's okay. That is totally okay to not meet 100% of your crazy expectations for the new year, because a lot of people, you know, we come into the new year and we're feeling refreshed and like new people every single year, and so we have these lofty goals and achievements that we want to make, and then we don't reach them, and then we're like, bleh, that sucks, you know, we're miserable about it. But like, I think that's the point. I think that's the point, is to have goals and try to reach them, and maybe sometimes not make them, and come to terms with that, and come to terms with the fact that you are a human and you do things, and you try, and I guess that's what matters. I don't know. I'm feeling thoughtful lately. But anyway, this video is getting long enough, so it is officially time that I should get into our 2024 goals. So the first one that I made is that I want to make more traditional art and just more personal work in general. I was so upset throughout most of 2023 because I felt like I wanted to post on socials, I wanted to post reels, I wanted to post photos, I wanted to post TikToks, I wanted to post shorts and YouTube videos and blah 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 blah. But I didn't have anything that I could post for them because like 99% of the time, what am I working on? A commission, a Patreon piece. So it's like I don't have anything that I can share in regards to like Patreon stuff. I can show like little snippets, but I try not to show like major things unless it's for the YouTube video for that month. And then everything else I kind of like to keep Patreon exclusive because that's the whole point of a Patreon. Or it's like a commission and it's like, this is somebody's character, this is somebody's face. Like I don't want to necessarily like post stuff like that, especially just because like some people are really private about their OCs, or it's a personal piece. Like that doesn't vibe well to post on social media. Some people will directly tell me like, go ahead and post whatever, and then I'm like, okay, cool. But also, even if I were to post those pieces, every single caption would be like, commission for blah blah blah, commission for blah blah blah. And as much as I want to plug my commissions all the time because I need commissions to survive and like have a house and stuff, I don't want that to be the thing that I do 100% of the time. And I also feel like as my audience looking at that and seeing like, oh my god, Simon only ever posts commissions, blah blah blah, we get it, you want us to commission you. It's like, no, I just don't have anything else to post because I'm working on commissions all of the time. I don't have any personal work to post, and that sucks, and that will stop in 2024. I definitely will still be posting commissions, obviously, and taking them and stuff. It's just I want to schedule a time for me to make personal work, for me to make stuff that I feel comfortable posting on my platforms without feeling weird. So I definitely want to make time for that, even if I have to be crazy and sit down and schedule and be like, okay, Thursday's my day where I do personal work and I don't do anything else. Thursday's that day, I'm gonna do that. So yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna figure that out there. On a similar note, I would still like to have better balance in 2024. I have sort of gotten into the habit of giving myself a day off. It is very helpful to have a day that I can look forward to just not looking at my phone, unless it's to play games on my phone. Just have a time where I get to sit down and not feel guilty about anything that I do. I can pick up Tears of the Kingdom. I can pick up Resident Evil. I can watch Full Metal Alchemist all the way through and not be like, oh, but I should be working. I should be working. Like, no, you shouldn't be working, you dingus. You worked all freaking week. You can have one day. You can have one day. And also allowing myself to have more than that one day. Allowing myself to recognize if I'm burnt out and stressed out and anxious and having a terrible time, I should be allowed to tell myself, today's not the day. You have to move. If that means, moving my commission schedule around, if that means skipping an upload, if that means, you know, putting off something until a day ahead, or a day, what is that, ahead? Ahead would be before, right? Putting stuff off, putting stuff off when I don't want to, because I want everything to be on schedule and on time all the time. I need to recognize that I am a person and I have feelings and I have health problems. Sometimes everybody does. I have a body and I need to take care of it. I need to do better at that in 2024 because and this is not a 2023 problem. This is my whole life problem. I will be like, I have a goal. I must achieve that in any way, shape, or form, even if that means like neglecting my mental and physical health, which is stupid and bad. Don't do that. Don't be like me. I know a lot of you are. I know a lot of people that do the same things I do. Don't do it. Listen to me. The minute I stopped doing that, oh my god, I feel so much better. Anytime I allow myself to take a break when I can tell that my body needs it, I feel so much better. And the thing that I was so anxious about getting done, it gets done. It gets done regardless of the fact that I took a break. So I need to remember that. I need to take that into account. and I need to continue to let that happen in the new year. The next goal that I have is to still read more. I really want to read more. I really want to finish the Song of Achilles, even if it makes me cry. I want to finish it, because I have some beef with this book. I have beef, and I enjoy it, and I have beef. So, I'll get more into that if I ever do finish the book, because hopefully I will make a video about it. But I want to read more. I don't want to just finish the Song of Achilles. I want to finish a bunch of books. I want to start a bunch of books. I want to read stuff. I used to read so much as a little baby child, and I don't anymore. So I really want to do that more in the new year, like actual books, not just social media posts, not just fanfic. I want to read books. I want to read novels. I want to read short stories. I want to read series that I want to know what Aquatar means on TikTok. I see that a lot. I don't know what that is. I want to know. I want to know the hype. I want to know what's going on. So yeah, 2024, still want to read more. I also want to, and this is a scary one, I want to post more often on every social media, not just YouTube. I want to keep my schedule consistent. Yes, I want to post on Instagram more. It's so scary because Instagram was so scary for me last year. But I think Instagram also, I mentioned that Patreon was part of what helped boost my creativity. I think Instagram was as well, because there are all these beautiful artists making all of this beautiful art. And I haven't seen any of it because I've been too scared to even get on Instagram. Why? Why am I doing that? I don't want to do that anymore. I'm going to make it a goal to engage with more art, to look at more stuff on Instagram, to post more on YouTube, and, do shorts and stuff, and do regular videos, do TikToks again. Just, not TikTok so much, because my For You page on TikTok has nothing to do with art. But I want to be more active on more art-related spheres this year. So I'm going to try to do that, even if it is very scary, and it might be very hard. I want to do more of that. And that kind of leads into my final sort of goal, resolution, whatever you want to call it, my final ambition for 2024, and that's just to find my flow again, be more passionate, more loose with my work, allow myself to make mistakes, allow myself to experiment, allow myself to make art again, because I have been so stiff and just feeling like I have to make art a certain way. And that sucks. It's a bad feeling to sit down in front of a canvas and feel like you can only make this thing, or your art only matters if you make something like this. I've been sitting down every single time I feel like I want to draw, I'm like, no, I don't want to draw, because then I have to make something look dynamic and interesting, and I just want to draw monster girls all day, and nobody wants to see that anymore. Shut up. What's wrong with you? Are you insane? Looking back at my Instagram, when my Instagram was really popping and I was posting all the time, I was not drawing nothing revolutionary. I was drawing girls with literally neck up, no shoulders, no nothing, just neon hair, barely any distinctive features, and I was having fun, and people liked it because I was having fun. I think that's the reason that people were like, hell yeah, let me like this post, because this is a little artist that's enjoying art and having fun, and you can feel it in the drawing. You can feel this person had fun making this, even if it's not the most technically skilled thing in the entire world. This person had fun making this. They enjoyed to make this. They had a good time. It is cute. It's not the most dramatic lighting and posing and unique angle or anything like that. It's literally not. It's a portrait, barely. it's a portrait. It's a neck up, floating neck, white background portrait, and people loved it. People were eating that up. Why don't I post that again? I'm not saying I'm gonna go back to drawing floating heads and stuff, even though I do have that. Those are my icon commissions. I do little floaty heads. I think they're cute. I'm not gonna go back to just drawing stuff in a white background again, because I think that I need to go back to my roots or whatever. But I'm gonna hopefully sit down on the canvas and be like, I can draw whatever I want. I can draw whatever I want. I can draw pretty girl all day, and nobody will be upset at me and tell me to do better. People will just be like, hey, that's cool, and then keep going. and so I really need to do that more. So yeah, those are my goals for 2024. I am sorry that this video was anciently long. While we're here, just recapping of the video that you guys are seeing on screen. Of course, that is my speed paint for my Meet the Artist. I have no idea what I have on screen for my likes and dislikes, but they should be popping up around this time or shortly after this. So if you want to get to know me a little bit, feel free to peep those on screen. But other than that, that is about it for this video, you guys. So I just have one more thing I want to say, and that is that I am very excited for 2024. I hope you guys are as well. I want to give, as always, a huge shout out to my patrons: Elise Thompson, Duran, Mandy, Sleeps Created by Twins, Inky Moo Art, Psychwalker Art, Fish Norflesh, Akita Kai, Watery Turd, Daru, Aurora Inks, and our two newest patrons, Clohime and Ray. Thank you guys so much for joining the Patreon. It genuinely means so much to me. This video is going up, I think, the day that the Patreon poll closes for January's theme, and I don't know what it is yet because it hasn't been closed yet as of filming, but if you're interested in seeing that, you can go see what won the poll and then go get excited for the rewards for this month and maybe join one of the tiers to see if you can get your hands on some of that artwork. But anyways, I love you guys so much, and I will see y'all next week. Bye.